What is the significance of Pradakshina? Why people go around the temple? In this ashram, Isha Yoga Center, what is the trajectory of Pradakshina? And at the end of this video, I'll also be sharing about some of my experience of doing Pradakshina inside this ashram. If you ever come to this ashram, you will see there will be people who are walking barefoot, bare chested, folding their hands, chanting some mantras and going all around this ashram. You must be feeling like they are doing some certain sadhana. Yes, they are doing Pradakshina. So today in this video, I'll be sharing everything about it. If you are coming here as a volunteer or normal visitor, you can be able to take benefit of that. You are allowed to do that. So if you are interested to know more about Pradakshina, do watch this video till the very end. Hi, Namaskaram, welcome back. First thing I would like to share about why Pradakshina, then I'll share about what is Pradakshina, and then recently in Lap of Master program, Sadhguru said one important thing, one secret about this ashram. He said, you do not need sadhana if you are staying in the ashram. It literally blew my mind because day and night, every day he is mentioning sadhana, morning sadhana, evening sadhana, morning sadhana, evening sadhana. Every day we are doing 5 hours of sadhana. It feels like we are doing sadhana in the entire day, in the entire journey of sadhana pada. But at the same moment, he says sadhana is not necessary if you are here in the ashram. The only thing is, if you are here in the ashram, there are different places. The entire ashram is designed in such a way that it has certain amount of energy inside itself. Whichever place draws you, just go there and be with it. Be it Dhyanlinga, Devi Temple, Surya Kund, Chandra Kund, Adiyogi or Yogeshwara Linga. Whichever thing draws you, you just go there and be with it. Just being with it can get you there. You do not have to do any sadhana. That is how powerful this place is. Now there is one more thing he also mentioned about Kala Bhairava temple, which is not yet consecrated yet, but he mentioned that if he consecrate the Kala Bhairava temple, then for him to come back to life again will be tough, will be difficult, but somewhere he might consider that as well, somewhere in future. But the point I wanted to mention out of here is, if you just be inside the ashram or be inside some consecrated place, it has a certain impact, it has a certain energy in that space which impact your system straight away directly. So that is one of the reason why we try to do Pradakshina. So sometimes you can go to Dhyanlinga, sometimes you can go to Devi, sometimes Chandrakund or Surya Kund will appeal you, sometimes Adiyogi will appeal you. But just because we are that kind of people who do not like to stay at one place, we just move here and there. So there is a better option for you. What you can do essentially is, you can go for Pradakshina. If you go for Pradakshina, you can attend all these places at the same time, and also you would be walking. So just because you are walking, most of the thoughts that you are having inside your mind will be getting cleared, and you will be doing something practically. So it feels like, yes, you are doing something. And also it is more better way of receiving energies. Now coming back to Pradakshina, what is Pradakshina? Pradakshina basically means going around a consecrated place. Now going around as in clockwise or anti-clockwise. So if you see in the northern hemisphere of this planet, if you open these older taps, you will see the water is going in clockwise direction. That is how the entire nature functions within, like on the upper part of this planet. So that is one of the reason why people go around the circle or around the temple in a clockwise direction. Now here in the ashram, since there are different consecrated places like Dhyanlinga, Devi Temple, Adiyogi or Yogeshwara Linga over here, so people go around that. Now what is the trajectory of Isha Yoga Center's consecration or Isha Yoga Center's Pradakshina? So in Isha Yoga Center, you have a 2.5 kilometers long Pradakshina. And this is such a beautiful thing, because when you get a very small temple, you just go around it, you don't feel like going around it for a long period of time. But here in the ashram, you have 2.5 kilometers of Pradakshina. So even if you do one, you feel like, wow, that's good enough. So just before you go for Pradakshina, they also say you that if you go in a certain way, then you grasp or you receive the energies in a much better way. So what are those things is, if you go with bare chested without wearing any clothes, it is the best way possible. But since this is an ashram, there are people going around, so you cannot go complete naked, so you at least wear something, right? Beyond that also, if you are more wet, then you are more receptive to the energies. You can be able to experience it very easily. If there is rain, and then you are doing pradakshina, if there is sun you are doing pradakshina, difference is huge. And it's better that if you are wearing clothes and you get yourself wet a little bit. So during the pradakshina as well, they ask you to put some water on your head so that your hair will remain wet throughout this pradakshina. Somewhere during the pradakshina hair get like dry, but it's completely fine. So what is the trajectory of this pradakshina inside the ashram Isha Yoga Center? So it starts from Dhyan Linga in front of Nandi. You start with a chant Yuga Yoga Yogeshwaraya for 3 times, and then your pradakshina starts. From Dhyan Linga you come to, if you are gents, you come to Surya Kund. You go to Surya Kund and you take some water and put it on your head. Then you come straight towards Adi Yogi, and then you make complete circle around Adi Yogi and also the Yogasara Linga over here. Then you go back again inside the ashram. When you go back, you go towards the temple, Devi temple, and from there you stand in front of 3 panel, Rudra, Hara, Sadasiva. This is the 3 panels of Shiva. You stand in front of there, you chant Yoga Yogeshwaraya, then you stand in front of Devi, you chant Yoga Yogeshwaraya, then you come back to Dhyan Linga again, and that's how your pradakshina ends. That's one pradakshina. If you go for another pradakshina, then you can repeat the same path. If you are a lady, then you skip the Surya Kund. Then when you go back from Devi temple and panel, there is Chandrakund over there. So you directly go inside a Chandrakund, and then you wet your hair over there. Then you come back to Dhyan Linga, and that's when your pradakshina ends. During this pradakshina, how you supposed to be also an important aspect of it as well, because I have seen people doing so many things. As in, during this pradakshina, it is essential for you to do not look forward, because when you look forward, there will be other people who will be looking at you, because you will be doing you will be walking in a certain way, you will be chanting in a certain way, so people will be looking at you. So if you look at them, your eye will meet, and that will create something else. So essentially what you are doing is you are trying to be with the nature, be with this consecrated space, not with the people. So just by eye contact can make a lot of transaction that happens, that right? So that is what we try to avoid. You try to avoid eye contact with people. And during this also, some people might approach you that, what sadhana are you doing? Or what exactly are you doing? So somebody might ask you a question like, where is the Dhyan Linga this side? So all of those things you avoid. Generally people do not ask you, because you are in a certain posture, you are working with certain intensity. So people just avoid doing all that thing to you. But even if somebody tries to talk to you, and a person who knows you might end up trying to talk to you, so what essentially you do is you avoid those persons. And third thing is you look down and you walk. And fourth thing is you hold the namaskara position, because I have seen so many people just walking like that. Namaskar position, holding this namaskar position becomes a little difficult when you do for long period of time, because your hands, your triceps start paining. You will experience certain kind of pain in your hands as well. So it is a tough task, but this is how you're supposed to do it. And fourth thing is you do not wear chappals. It is best that you walk barefoot, because the more you are in touch with the ground, you experience the life that you are in much deeper way. You are using chappals so that we do not hurt our feet, but since this path is not that rough, you can choose to remove your chappal, and at least till the pradakshina ends you can walk barefoot. It makes huge difference in your own experiences only. Now after doing pradakshina inside the ashram, what has been my experiences? One thing I must tell you, that there have been some situations when I was like completely going through certain things inside my head. It was just bombarding my thoughts inside my head. But since I pick up this pradakshina, I'm chanting something, most of my attention in the chant, and just because you are chanting it continuously, repeatedly, your attention goes back again inside your thoughts. Now just because you are walking, so there is another part of your unconsciousness is working over there. So chanting and walking, the thoughts that inside going on your head slows down a little bit. The way you see, the way you perceive, the kinds of thought that goes in your head changes dramatically after doing pradakshina. So this is an amazing way to soak the energy of this consecrated place. If you are coming here in the ashram just as a visitor as well, just as a guest as well, then you can do it. You can take benefit of that. All the consecrated spaces of this ashram are allowed for every people, irrespective of you are meditator, irrespective you are not meditator. spaces are available for you, but only the ashram side is not accessible for normal human beings, I mean normal visitors. But rest of the people can take advantage of this consecrated place if you are coming here without, even if you are not initiated into any meditation, any practices of Isha, still you come here in the ashram, just go around and do some pradakshina, and then you go back at least once in 6 months or once in a year. You come here and try this. At least I think it will make huge difference the way you are living your life. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.